Good morning, dear students. I am Mr. Sunil Kumar, PGT Accountancy, Cambridge International School, the Sewer. Dear students, on special demand, I am making this video. In this video, I will explain what is expenditures and expenses, what are the main differences between these expenses and expenditure, and what is revenue expenditure and what is capital expenditure. So let's start. Here is the table which is showing that there is what is the difference between expenses and expenditure. So one by one we will cover all the points. Meaning, the red one is the expenditure and the orange is expenses. So the meaning of expenditure is it is of cost for assets. It means whenever you are buying any asset is your property and that is bought for once in a life or for it will be this expenditure is done after a long period of time. So the cost on the purchase of asset is known as expenditure. Now this cost includes like if we are producing a refrigerator, if we are producing refrigerator, the cost on the production of refrigerator is known as expenditure. And it includes, I give you one example, it includes like wages to the labor that is included in the cost of assets. On the other hand, expenses is the cost incurred to earn revenue. Now revenue means sale, income on sale, and the cost incurred to earn that income is known as expenses. Now what I give you one example for this, like carriage outward. When the product is produced, it is made, it is sent to the market for sale. So from factory to market, there is we will hire some truck, we put that refrigerator on the truck, and truck will take to it to the market in the shop. So whatever the expenditure we pay on the truck, that is carriage outward, that is known as expenses. Second point is implication of financial statement. Expenditures, we do not show expenditure in neither in profit and loss account nor in balance sheet, but we show expenses in the profit and loss statement. Number three is tenure. Expenditure, when we uh, make some expenses on expenditure, that expenditure is for the long period of time. It means if I buy a car and that car is my asset, and now the car expenditure which I have made on a car, will I will not make that expenditure for next 5 years or 6 years or for a long period of time. Expenses is for short period of time. It is very short term. Like when I bought the car, I have to pay every year insurance premium for the car. Every year I have to uh, get service done for the car. Every day or every week or in a month, I have to refill the fuel tank of the car. That is expenses. These are short term or these are recurring in nature. They are we are doing expenses again and again. But expenditure, we've done expenditure once in a life. Number four is number of times incurred. So expenditure is done once, whereas expenses are done number of times. That many times it is of recurring nature. And the purpose next is purpose of expenses and expenditure. The purpose of expenditure, that is it is a capital expenditure. Capital expenditure means it is done once in a life or once in a for a long period of time. Expenses is journal expense and it isn't recurring in nature. It happens again and again. Anticipation. not anticipated for a long period of time. Like once I bought the car, I will not going to buy a car in next year. I anticipate this expenditure after a long period of time, so it is not anticipated very soon. But expenses are highly anticipated. It is like anything happens in my car, I'll take to the service center, they will charge me something. Expenses are recurring in nature and highly anticipated. It is happening again and again. So these are the difference between expenses and expenditure. Here is the distinction between capital expenditure and revenue expenditure. Basis of expenditure, capital expenditure, and revenue expenditure. Number one is purpose. Capital expenditure is incurred for acquisition of fixed assets for the use in business. Capital expenditures here is like for the purchase of assets we do capital expenditure. Revenue expenditure, it is incurred for running of business. For running the business we do every day some expenses. So revenue expenditure is recurring in nature. It happens every day, day to day. So revenue expenditure is helpful in running business. Second is capacity. It is it increases earning capacity of the business, and revenue expenditure is incurred for earning profit. Now, earning capacity of the business increases year after year. If we see that first year we earned profit of rupees 10 lakh, next year it will be 12 lakh, next year uh, after that second year it will be like 15 lakh, 20 lakh. So, it will gradually increase. So it capital expenditure increases the capacity of the business, whereas revenue expenditure uh, it incurred for earning profit. Now earning profit means like profit is first year's profit is 10 lakh, but to earn 10 lakh we have made number of expenses like paid salary to the employees, wages to the labor, telephone expenses, mobile expenses, purchasing of raw material, etc. These are the recurring expenses. These expenses helps to earn profit. Number three, period. Its benefit extends to more than 1 year. Capital expenditure, once we have done the capital expenditure, the benefit of it will go to a number of years, like 10 years, 20 years, 50 years. If I bought a an AC in my house, that AC will work for next 5 years, 10 years. So the benefit of that AC will be I am enjoying that benefit for next 5 years or 10 years. So the capital expenditures give its benefit extended to more than 1 year. In the same way, revenue expenditure, its benefit is exhausted within 1 year, because it is a recurring expense, recurring expenditure. Its benefit is exhausted within 1 year. Where it is debited, capital expenditure is debited to an asset account, whereas revenue expenditure is debited to an expenditure expense account. So asset, we all know that asset, we buy asset for the for increasing the capacity of the business. Expenses is done to earn profit. So revenue expenditure is debited in expenditure expenses account, and capital expenditure is debited to asset account. Nature of account, fifth number is it it is an asset. Capital expenditure is an asset, revenue expenditure is an expense. So it is an expense account, capital expenditure is an asset account. Hope this has made your doubts clear. If you have any doubt, please do let me know. Thank you.